set a standard of how women should be poured back into, especially Black women, because we know what it is to pour out, and we're very resistant to being poured back into. And if there's one watchword for me that you said, was that we have to do things courageously, even when we're afraid. And for me, I had to get past being afraid of what people would say on my job, and I just had to go. So yeah.
Now who gonna go after this? She said
Exactly.
that was beautiful.
Gosh. So I feel like you guys, there was some connection with the whole group with you. And I only feel like I've been knowing you for a month, maybe or so, something like that. It was a one-on-one we had, and then you said, "Oh, by the way, I'm having a VIP retreat," and I was like, "Oh, I'm there." So, what I felt on the call when I did your one-on-one was you talked about God. You talked about. I felt your passion for your work, and I felt you could relate to me as a Black woman, and that made me say, you was asking me what made me say yes so quickly, that was what made me say, you know what, I think I need to hear more, I think I need to be in your presence. And so this trip has been, I think, a different type of retreat that I've been on before, because usually you go and you're in meetings all day. Although we were in meetings for that one whole day, it didn't feel like we were in a meeting for 10 hours or whatever it was, 8 hours, because you gave us breaks, But, and then today was magical because we were able to let our hair down. We got away from the books. We poured into ourselves. We prioritized ourselves. We were beautiful. Everything was set up perfect. And so it just, I would say move forward with it. And like you said, do it scared if you're trying to do something. Like I said, I'm in my later part of my life, but I still feel like, my work is still.
You're the next part. You're the
you know what I mean?
next part.
Keep being you, and it's coming from your heart, and everybody feels that. So you can't run, even if you try.
I love that. And I just want to honor you because you had a lot of reasons to be like, oh no, especially when you were hoping Lydia could join you. And circumstances really prompted that she couldn't. That's a real opt-out, kind of like, oh, she's not going, especially since she was kind of your touch point. And so you showing up for yourself was very courageous, even for yourself, because you walk into a space where you're like, I really don't have a point of reference. And so I honor that. That's beautiful. Yeah, absolutely.
It's because of you.
Everybody else?
No.
No, one thing I can say, especially today, when I was going around taking the pictures and everybody looking so beautiful and everybody feeling beautiful, that made my heart feel good to see how everybody was enjoying the photos and taking in everything that we was doing with the pictures. Because I have to admit, I went back to the hotel and I was. But also, even on yesterday, when you was talking to Sherry about her what she was trying to do, you kept asking her about what's your sweet spot, and you was, but in my mind, I was thinking, at least for me, your sweet spot for me is how you can. We talking about career, but how you put the faith base in it, or how you talk about God and how. You think in one way, I guess career-wise, but really you didn't turn that thing around is what God is saying. You think in one way, but you have a way or a gift of letting you know that, maybe this, you may be thinking that, but this is what God, the direction I think God may be leading you to. So I think, to me, that's your sweet spot for me, is tying them together, connecting the dots.
Yes.
Thank you for that. I love that.
For me, I just like the way that nothing was rushed. Like, you could take your time. You could sit down and have a conversation with you. It's like sitting down with an old girlfriend that's gonna tell you the right things to do, but also she's gonna keep it real with you and say, look, you need to do X, Y, and Z. So if you don't start doing the work, then what do you expect? I can put all these things out there for you, but you have to do your part. And that's what I got from the book. It was just kind of like, okay, I'm here to give you the steps, but you have to do the work too. So I appreciated that. It was like having your own private mentor. There was no, you didn't rush anybody yesterday. And then you kept saying, do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? Any concerns? So I appreciate that.
Thank you. That's really good. Awesome.
Okay, so first of all, you know, I thought that this was about career, business, professional, like entrepreneurs, you know, branding your product or what you do or your career. And so I was like, okay. But coming in, it's like, no, this is about you. And I love what you said. If you can't fix you, then everything else can't be successful. You can't pour into everything else. So I like that. And I love the part where it's like, well, how do you redefine success? So then I'm like, okay, for me, it's finding harmony, because everything can't have a balance. That word is no more. Finding harmony, being a woman of God, a child of God, so me first, because I was like, yep, you're a woman, you're a child of God, being a wife, being a mother. So how do I find harmony in that? When I find harmony and balancing all that, how do I take care of me? Like today, like you said, I felt beautiful this weekend. I was around my sisters. You know, I was like, oh wow, everybody shared testimonies that I could relate to. And I'm like, oh, I'm not alone. And how you guys have triumphed. And I'm here. I got up. And I was like, wow. And I want me back. I want my harmony. I want that joy. I want that happiness. But I got to get out of my way. I like what she said. You got to get out of your way. It's you stopping you. Get out of your way. And I was deep. I was like, yep, because it starts here, and faith. Like that's big for me too. And it's like I'm so good at encouraging. Because Zakira knows me, I don't speak negativity. I'm all about positive, encouraging. I'm all about what you speak and the power of your words. But yet, I do that to myself, and I'm like, when I'm talking to you, well, I'm talking to me too. And so finding that harmony so that when I pour into myself, I can go back and be the best woman of God. I could be the best child of God. I could be the best wife. I could be the best mother. And I could be the best PA or whatever gift that God will have me to go to the next level in my life. So that's what success. How I've learned to redefine success. It's not my profession and what I do for a living. So, thank you. Oh. I'm trying to tell you, she missed a beat. That's why I couldn't say your name.
Carol. So for me, this has felt like a graduation for me because last year I did a 12-month journey called Being Me, and I knew that a part of it, like this was the celebration for being intentional to connect with me last year and to be me. And so a lot of what happened, like I shared with you this weekend, was seeing. So it was like my grade report, like my transcript. And I got to see my transcript in the past 3 days. Like, okay, I see that. You know, like when you're doing like a master's or something, you have to do like a thesis, you have to defend your thesis. So this was my opportunity to defend Carol. Who was Carol? Who's showing up? And to just have the freedom, like I've shared already, like to do that and to receive, to be poured into, to have women that would come alongside and say, I see you, right? And to not have to be the one that was seeing everybody, to allow myself to not. And Annie would know it's very hard because, like I shared, like the helpful thing, like it's always like pour, like so that's what you do. And I was happy to receive and to know that this was a safe place to receive with no backlash, and you're genuine, like you're very, very, very genuine, like
And I know, like, someone had said to me before when they met me in person, "You're the same person in person that you are." And I was like, "What does that mean?" Like, I couldn't understand. But now I get it, because, like, you're the same person. You're my car buddy, and now you're And so it's been like, to just be around real, someone that pours from a real place, like with no agenda, no ulterior motive. Yeah, like I wasn't a number here. I wasn't a receipt, like, okay, she paid some money, let me just.
Or a check mark.
Right? It was like, I see it. So it feels good to be seen and celebrated.
So beautiful. Baby, your jewelry is like captivated. Your jewelry is jewelry right now. Just so if you was wondering, it's given at this moment. It really, really is. I appreciate all of that. I received it, and I'm so glad to hear it, because I was very intentional about curating this experience. I can't remember. I had conversations with so many of you. I think it may have been you, where I said my daughter had bought a ticket to the Beyonce movie. And I'm not a Beyonce fan, but she couldn't go. So she had already bought the ticket, and she was like, "Mom, I can't go. Would you like to go?" And I was like, "Sure, I'll go to the Beyonce movie." Well, I was in the midst of really planning this at that time, and I was really like waffling between, am I being too particular? Am I going through too many details? Am I trying to curate it? And then I went there and I watched how, even at her level, she's paying attention to the lights and what kind of lighting it is and what part was moving where. And she's sitting back challenging everything. And that's when I was like, that's where the excellence is birthed. Is when you pay attention to the details. And I know when I go places, I'm like, certain things could be done to elevate the experience, and I just appreciate being able to deliver something in line with what I would want to experience. And so hopefully that has been nice. While y'all were gone, y'all see these glasses, guys?
Everyone gets to take one home with them.
Yes.